Greetings everyone. This is Grace with Light Out, and today I wanted to come to you guys and talk about simulation theory and how it kind of supports spirituality, at least my form of spirituality. So if you like these videos and you want to hear more like them, you know what to do. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and bell button so that you're notified every time that I make a post or go live. And with all that being said, let's get into it. Also, don't be afraid. Please leave a comment. I love to see you guys' feedback and just to talk with you guys and share. So let's get into it. So if you're aware of what simulation theory is, it's basically a scientific hypothesis or theory. I'm not sure. It's just an idea in science that there's a 50-50 chance that we are or we aren't living in simulation. Simulation meaning that we're like, have you ever played the video game Sims or any augmented reality type of video game? They're saying that there's a chance that this is a simulation. Also, if hypothetically we were living in a simulation, what would happen is we would be experiencing what qualia is. Qualia is basically an experience that is experienced by, like, say you're the guy walking around playing in Grand Theft Auto. You're a character. You would be getting experience through your character in the game, but the character in the game has a different experience than you. But you're both creating knowledge. You're both gaining experience through the character in the game. And it's not to benefit the character in the game. The experience benefits you, the person who is controlling the character in the game. Now, the reason that I agree that life is a simulation is because I really do accept the teachings of what Jainists. It's a form of spirituality or religion. Like I said, I'm not religious, but I do take bits and pieces of each religion. Because all knowledge is, all knowledge is powerful, and all knowledge is interconnected. So, and in Jainism, basically, it's saying that we are on a path to ascend to godlike, the God realm is what I call it, to being with the gods, being godlike. And what I understand, overstand, and understand is that we choose our lives before we get here. We know what we came here to learn. We know where we're basic. It's like a life. We're God's having a human experience. That's what we are. We're gods, and we can't come to. Well, we don't even really come here. We're still up in the spirit realm, but we're using our bodies as a vehicle to experience consciousness and to learn lessons and have certain experiences. It's almost like playing a VR game. And so I wanted to talk about simulation theory because I honestly, I'm certain that that's what this is going on. A lot of the chosen ones, especially those of us who have outer body experiences, have had different things happen to us. I've had an outer body experience so that I could see my consciousness outside of the body. Your consciousness can exist outside of your body. But science, by and large, does support spirituality. For the most part, yes, it does. It's like basically when you pass away, you're just going back into God form. You're just taking off your VR glasses and you go through orientation. What happens when people pass away, and if you start to believe in this reality, this realm of existence, when your body expires, and say you're still held on to that life, you get stuck in limbo, like, because your spirit can do anything it wants to do. There's no one really in authority over you. There's rules to how these realms work. You have to have certain guides and things to get you into your next life and realm. But simulation theory, to me, explains it all. I think there's a very small chance that the reality we living in is the base reality. And that's how simulation theory goes as well. It's like, okay, if this is a simulation, then what is not simulated? The only thing that is not simulated is source, is the higher power. That's not simulated. And the source comes from darkness. Source comes from the beginning. Source is, I like to bring the Tao, from Taoism. The source is energy that can never be created or destroyed, because it has always been there and it will always be there. Also, scientifically, one of my favorite lectures from one of my favorite physicists is A Universe from Nothing by Lawrence Krauss, which made me think of, right, in quantum physics, there's really no such thing as nothing. There has to, so basically, even if there's nothing, like say you vacuum all the air out of a space, would you say that that's nothing? Well, mathematically, there's still something there. Yeah, so I just wanted to come here and talk to you guys about simulation theory and kind of connected to spirituality. You know, a lot of people get focused on, you know, living in this life and getting caught up with materialistic things, not realizing you are only here to learn something. You're here to learn. This is just like playing a video game. You have a body, and when you die, you get another life if you don't ascend. There's many rules, but you guys let me know in the comment section if you want me to go deeper into like afterlife or simulation theory. I'm going to do a series of videos on here about how science actually supports most religious, I mean not most religious, but spirituality, because religion and spirituality are two different things. You can be, religion is more of a watered down form of spirituality, let's put it that way. Also, simulation theory would explain a lot of the synchronicities that happen. So, like, I don't know about you, but I'll be thinking about, I'll think about like maybe like a vacation spot, like say, oh, I would really like to go to France or the UK. Well, I'll start seeing vacation, just thinking these thoughts will cause certain ads to pop up. Do you want a vacation to the UK? Or say I'm thinking about going on a cruise. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever been thinking, not even speaking to someone about it, but just thinking about certain things, and you know, you start getting ads for it. Also, if it makes sense that if we are different gods, having a human experience, we have a collective consciousness that creates reality, and it's like a collaboration of consciousness creating reality. So and some people are void, some people are just rendered here void, and different spirits inhabit them because it's part of the simulation. So I think this is mostly a simulation. Also, you can't prove anything that the simulation doesn't want you to know. So if the simulation doesn't want us to know that there's a simulation, there'll never be any cold hard proof that life is just a simulation. This is why time travel may or may not be possible. I'm not going to discuss that in this video. That's going to be another video. But I just wanted to make this video to just talk to you guys about simulation theory, how our collective consciousness is actually creating reality as we go. Our collective consciousness creates the world around us. Nothing exists unless we're able to observe it. Also, simulation theory also, with science and everything, I don't know if you guys ever heard it. I think it's the double-blind experience. No, that's a form of experiment. There was a double slit. It was basically two slits in they were observing a particle. I think it was like a photon or something like that, and they were observing it through two slits or something like that, where they could see it, the light passing through. And basically the moral of the story, because I can't really articulate how I remember this experiment going, but the moral of the story, the idea of the experiment is they were observing this particle, and when the researcher wasn't observing it, the particle acted different. But then when he observed the particle, it acted a different way. If this wasn't a simulation, particles would act the same way all the time. They would behave the same whether they're being observed or not. So the act of you observing something can change its behavior. So I just wanted to, propose that thought, and just talk about simulation theory, because I think it's one of the most amazing theories science has come up with in the recent history. It's very thought-provoking, and it explains a lot. So let me know what other scientific theories you would like me to use to support spirituality. Like I said, I understand that before we're born, I've said this in other videos, before we're born, we choose our life path. We decide what character we want to play in this video game. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. There might be a part 2 on this simulation theory or whatever in the future, because I just like to come here and talk to you guys and kind of just let my thoughts flow freely. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye. Or day, life, whatever.